Good afternoon. We're already 7 minutes late, so we're going to have to make that up in the air. Some of you got that. Are we ready? Awesome. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to IIDA members and our special guests. I'm Cheryl Durst, Executive Vice President and CEO of IIDA, and I'm so honored to welcome each and every one of you to the 20th annual meeting of the International Interior Design Association. So did you all get your 20 pins? Are you pinned? You're not pinned? Some of you are pinned. All right, we'll pin later. We've got a little, pinning ceremony for everybody. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. On the occasion of our 20th anniversary, and before we do that, all that good official welcome stuff, I want to first start with something a little bit special. We want to celebrate the proclamation of Design Day in Chicago. Right? Yeah, that's my trouble section right there. I want to ask Alderman Brendan Riley, who represents Chicago's 42nd Ward, which includes the Merchandise Mart and the River North area, and also the International President of IIDA, Felice Silverman, to join me on stage. Alderman Riley.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm Brendan Riley, and I am the Alderman of the 42nd Ward representing downtown Chicago on the City Council. And on behalf of the City Council and Mayor Emanuel, I'm here to welcome all of you here to the 42nd Ward. I'd like to officially declare June 8th, 2014, Design Day in the City of Chicago. This year marks a very special day for interior design, as IIDA celebrates its 20th anniversary in conjunction with NeoCon. I thank you for all your hard work and dedication to the profession of interior design and wish you a successful and prosperous year ahead. And now I have the pleasure of reading the official proclamation by the City of Chicago to make this officially Design Day. Whereas the International Interior Design Association was formed in 1994 as a result of the visionary merger of the Institute of Business Designers, the International Society of Interior Designers, and the Council of Federal Interior Designers, and whereas a mission to both exhibit and explore design's multifaceted impact upon every aspect of society and culture continues to define the International Interior Design Association's extraordinary existence, and whereas IIDA is a professional networking and educational association made up of over 13,000 members in 10 specialty practice forums and 33 active chapters around the world that aim to connect communities of designers and architects across the world while representing the interests of the entire international design community. And whereas the talented professional and student designers of IIDA remain committed to innovative, collaborative, and honest interior design, and whereas the year 2014 marks the milestone 20th anniversary of the International Interior Design Association, whereas, headquartered in the city of Chicago, IIDA will celebrate and commemorate its 20th anniversary in conjunction with NeoCon, North America's largest design and exposition conference for commercial interiors and designers. And whereas the International Interior Design Association will hold its annual meeting on Sunday, June 8, 2014, at the Museum of Contemporary Art in Chicago, Illinois, now therefore, I, Rahm Emanuel, Mayor of the City of Chicago, do hereby proclaim June 8, 2014 to be Design Day in Chicago, and urge all Chicagoans to recognize the enduring efforts and initiatives of the International Interior Design Association in improving the quality of all of our lives. Dated this 16th day of April 2014, signed Mayor Rahm Emanuel, City of Chicago. Congratulations. And I would like to present this officially to you. There you go. Congratulations.
Thanks. Whereas, that was awesome. And we have like a live signature of Ron Emanuel, and I'm wondering if I can use that somewhere. All right, so we're going to continue with our meeting, and one more other thing that's a little different and special, and I sort of stole this idea from my friends from the Interior Designers of Canada. So I'm giving you all a Canadian shout out and a wave. For the first time ever, IIDA members anywhere in the world can participate in this annual meeting because we're live streaming it. And so our friends sitting right back there are capturing everything, they just waved, capturing everything that is happening, and our 13,000 members in 52 countries and Felice's parents can tune in. And I know that their attention, they'll have rapt attention to all the proceedings of this annual meeting. Now you guys know that I always make you this promise that we're going to be breezy and energized and fast-paced, and you will be entertained. In exchange, the promise I will extract from you, please silence any cell phones, beepers, anything that buzzes, beeps, tweets, burps, lets loose with sounds. If you could do that for us, it would be greatly appreciated. So those of you who've been coming to this because you are just groupies and you love annual meetings, you know what to expect at our business meeting. Pretty soon, you're going to hear International President Felice Silverman, and who will deliver her outgoing presidential address. We're going to conduct a little business, and this really is a public celebration of all of our accomplishments and successes in the past year. We're going to bestow some honors, and then we're going to induct some new board members. So again, thank you all so much for being here for this very significant 20th anniversary annual meeting, and I promise you, we never do a tight-ass meeting. And just because this is the 20th anniversary, it will probably be less tight-ass than ever because we're not quite adult yet. That's next year when we're 21. So I also want to offer a very special welcome to all of our members, our corporate members, our friends, our significant others, and our special guests. In the audience, we know that we have many friends. They may not belong to our organization, but we work very closely with them. They're leaders of other organizations, and we work very closely to support design excellence in the built environment. In the audience today, I know we have leaders from FIIDA, from CIDQ, from IDEC. I saw my friends, Randy Pfizer and Rochelle Schlossler-Lynn, walk in from ASID. Hi there. We have aforementioned IDC. We have AIA, and I'd like to give a special welcome to Tom Reardon, the Executive Director of BIFMA, who's in the audience. IIDA had the pleasure of partnering with BIFMA on a workplace research study, which will be debuting tomorrow, and also it will make a debut at the BIFMA annual meeting on Wednesday. Thank you so much, Tom, for being here. This study is all about the significance of workplace and its effectiveness. I'd also like to acknowledge and recognize the leaders of the association. So many of you know, and you've heard earlier, that IIDA was created when 3 of 7 organizations merged in 1994. IIDA would like to recognize those leaders who also served in the predecessor organizations that created IIDA. If you're in the audience, please do stand. And if you were a part of the unified voice effort that ultimately merged those 3 organizations, please stand. Would leaders of IBD, CFID, or ISID, if you're in the audience, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you for your significant contributions to our history and our legacy. Would the past international presidents of IIDA, as well as any past international board members of IIDA in the last 20 years, if you're in the audience today, please stand. Thanks to you all so much for your commitment during the years that you formally served IIDA and for your continued service to the organization. We would also like to recognize the members of the IIDA College of Fellows that are with us here today. Would all fellows in the organization please stand? Fellows, your industry leadership has enhanced the organization and helped shape the association as it currently stands. And last, but not certainly not least, and not really last, because I might think some other people too, would members of the Chapter Leadership Council, our CLC, chapter presidents, presidents-elect, and chapter board members who are in the audience, please stand. So I have to tell you all a little secret about this group, because many of them just got off of a trolley. And before they got on that trolley, they were at Boss Bar doing a little pregame. But they were toasting IIDA in that special way that IIDA members have. And so to all the CLC, we spent a wonderful day together yesterday talking about challenges ahead for the organization, your challenges, opportunities, wonderful moments, and leading chapters. Thank you for all of your volunteer hours. I am always humbled and amazed by the time and commitment and passion that you dedicate to this organization. Thank you so much for all that you do. And finally, would the IIDA headquarters staff please stand and be recognized? Thank you to the IIDA headquarters staff for alternately keeping me sane and making me crazy. And thanks for supporting the work that we do to enhance member value. Normally, at this time in the annual meeting, I talk a little bit about the theme of the meeting and how it resonates for IIDA. So after 20 years, not just today, but maybe for the rest of the year, and for all of us, I think the theme really is resilience. So in looking back about 20 years ago, aside from the Nancy Kerrigan, Tanya Harding thing, that was 20 years ago, and on this day, give or take a few hours, 20 years ago, there was a certain white Bronco that was being followed. That was in 1994. The past 20 years obviously have brought sweeping changes, minuscule changes, changes to our lives. I am incredibly fascinated by lexicon. And so there are a number of words that exist now that did not exist 20 years ago. And some are easy and overt and obvious. The first one is blog. Everybody has a blog these days. And it's been that way actually since about 1999. You all know that the word blog is a shortened version of the word weblog. And in 2004, it was Merriam-Webster's Word of the Year. Here's another one. You guys are going to know all these. Here's another word that didn't exist 20 years ago, Google. It's not just a company, it's a verb. It's rare to go a day without Googling something, and you probably use the phrase Google it on a semi-regular basis. It didn't officially become a word until 2006, but it was the American Dialect Society. It was the most useful word of 2002. And its first official usage actually occurred in 1998. But it wasn't until an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer that the verb hit the popular lexicon. You don't believe me? Google it. Could not wait to say that. So another few words. Mashup. Right? People have been mixing and mashing up songs for years, and they were even saying that and doing that in the 50s. But the word and that style of music didn't become popular until the television show Glee. Absolutely. Another one, bromance. Right? This magical, non-sexual relationship between two men was coined by Dave Carney in Skateboard magazine. But the word didn't become popular until a reality television show was used in a reality television show, Big Brother. Cyberstalking, another one. You may have cyberstalked someone without realizing it. I frequently cyberstalk Ken Wilson. Yep. It's public now, Ken. And you probably do it too. It's not necessarily your fault, though. The internets and Facebook kind of enable us to do that. Before either of those things existed, it often took too much effort, a ladder, and a flashlight to stalk someone. And then you'd be shamed. Now it's possible to cyberstalk, and not too many people know about it. Next word. Paywall. This is the device on a website that prevents you from accessing some content unless you've paid to subscribe to it. And it's become a really common term for restricting access. The first time that that word was used was in January of 1997, and the Wall Street Journal was the first to use the word because they were the first website to put up a paywall. Muggle. J.K. Rowling. It's a word that's frequently now used to reference non-magical people. Some of you are in this room, too. But it's become a blanket term for someone who isn't conversant with a particular set of skills or a particular activity. J.K. Rowling has said that it comes from the British slang mug, which means a person who's easily fooled. So I did a little bit of research and found that the word muggle was actually first used in the 1920s in New Orleans. And it was used to refer to marijuana. And there is a geographical coincidence here. The conference on cannabis is occurring right now at Navy Pier. So in case after this meeting you want to wander down to Navy Pier, I hear they have free samples. Another word that we didn't hear until recently, and we don't like these too much, but by necessity, the recession caused us to take a few of these. Staycation. I know, right? It's what you do when you don't want to take an expensive trip, and you put a slip and slide in your backyard, and you make the most of it. In 2009, it was added to the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Last good one I'm going to give you. Sexting. It's hard to believe that this term only appeared for the first time in 2004. And it appeared because the Globe and Mail was reporting an incident that involved David Beckham. You can move. Keep going. Keep going. I know. It's like, who am I talking to? We'll keep going. Awesome. Okay, stop. There's this wonderful woman out there, right there, who's helping me. So this one is particularly interesting, too, and I just wanted to share this with you. 10 countries that didn't exist 20 years ago. The Czech Republic, East Timor, Eritrea, Palau, Slovakia, Serbia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Montenegro, Kosovo, and Kazakhstan. In at least 5 of those countries, we have IIDA members who are live streaming this right now. So all that says, and it's one of my favorite expressions, and Carrie Neal, who is our executive editor of Perspective, has done a wonderful article about this. The rate of change has changed. Every 2 days, we create as much information as we did from the dawn of man through 2003. I want to say that again. Every 2 days, we create as much information as we did from the dawn of man until 2003. That's about 5 exabytes. And here's the important part. It's user-generated content. Photos, IMs, texts, videos, tweets, Facebook status updates, online dating profiles. It's all that stuff that we're pushing out into the world because we are the world's best and most well-documented society. The average user, that's us, gets about 103,000 words of text dumped on us daily. That's the equivalent of 2 novels. And 443 minutes of video. That's the equivalent of 4 Star Wars movies, the good ones. We are bombarded with information that we can't possibly process. You guys have heard me say this before. We don't have the time to think, to deliberate, to sift, to filter, and all of this change is going nowhere. That rate of change has changed. Who deals with change better than any profession on the face of the earth? It's design. And I'm going to go all biblical on you. Design begats change. Change begat design. It's why we exist. It's why we're passionate. It's why we're committed. And it is why design will change the world. Happy 20th anniversary, IIDA. So now, and I'm realizing I didn't put Kleenex at the podium, I'm going to welcome Felice Silverman back to the podium to deliver her final presidential remarks. Felice.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Well, it has been a very exciting year and a very fast one. And as my term comes to a close, I want to first extend my sincere thanks to IIDA for the honor of being chosen to serve as president during this important time. A few weeks ago, I was asked to deliver the Boston Architectural College's commencement address. And my main message to the graduating students was about the value that designers bring to the lives of people, the great satisfaction of being a designer, the power and importance of collaboration, and the ever-changing state of our profession. This reinforced to me the immense value and relevance that IIDA brings to our members and to the community at large. IIDA promotes the value of design. We celebrate the work of designers. We create partnerships and build networks, and we lead the profession as it evolves and responds to our changing world. Now more than ever, IIDA is the core of the commercial interior design industry. As we celebrate IIDA's 20th anniversary, we've taken advantage of this milestone time, to re-examine who we are as an organization and the evolution of the practice of design, all while assessing how we can best serve you, our members, in the ongoing and still vitally important mission of elevating and advancing the profession of interior design worldwide. The IIDA International Board started the year by diligently reviewing and evaluating the association's position within the industry and announced the new IIDA Strategic Position Statement to our membership. And I'd like to share that with you now. IIDA exists to provide relevant and meaningful support to commercial interior design professionals and their clients. IIDA promotes the value of interior design to business decision makers and to the general public. IIDA stands at the intersection of passion and strategy, where designers create the exceptional environments that encompass every aspect of the human experience. IIDA is the preeminent association for the commercial interior design profession. As IIDA continues to grow and evolve, a strong statement like this is imperative. In an organization with our depth and breadth, having a definitive identity and focus at its core is essential to maintaining consistent growth and identity. For our 20-year history, IIDA has been the singular organization representing commercial interior designers and giving them a global voice. We'll continue to serve in that capacity, offering engaging networking events, opportunities, and a viable network designed to support professional development and personal growth, as well as the validity that comes with the IIDA appellation. We've begun to broaden our support beyond the immediate design community to further engage clients, the consumer public, and C-suite decision makers, adding further perspective and worth to your IIDA membership. To do this, we're focusing on initiating and commissioning relevant metrics-based research that will articulate and support the value of interior design. We've moved quickly in bringing on new initiatives to support our mission. In January, we announced a joint research study with BIFMA to establish measurable indices for workplace design. And here at NeoCon, we're announcing the initial results. I'm particularly excited about this study since it so strongly conveys how important interior design is and does so with measurable, quantifiable results. It's a tremendous contribution to the international design conversation, and I'm proud to have been part of it. Many of our ongoing programs certainly support our vision as well. It's impossible to recap all of the wonderful events that have happened this year, but I'd like to talk about a few experiences that demonstrate IIDA at its best, from the local to the global level and from the student to the professional. One of my favorite events of the year is IIDA's annual Student Mentoring Week. And this year, we paired more than 700 students with experienced industry professionals to introduce them, the next generation, to their field. I love it not just because it's the best way to introduce a design student to the industry, but because it's such an invaluable learning experience for both the student and the mentor. The excitement and passion for great design is celebrated and experienced by members of all experience levels at IIDA. I had the great opportunity this year to present IIDA's Global Excellence Awards at Maison et Objet in Paris. The competition, one of the many successful competitions that IIDA presents every year, is open to designers from around the globe. Before going to Paris, I reviewed the work of the winners and was not at all surprised to see that the work was beautiful, innovative, and of the highest quality of design. But what did surprise me and impress me in a very profound way was the excitement and passion of designers from all around the globe. Estonia, China, Lebanon, Australia, Tokyo, Greece, just to name a few. Most of the award winners joined us in Paris to accept their awards, brought their families, made impassioned speeches about their work, and how it brought value to their clients and to the community. They then connected with, congratulated, and even took selfies with each other, sharing in the pride and respect of each other's work. This, to me, showed how IIDA not only creates immense value for each of our members, but for the design community as a whole, uniting and celebrating great design around the world. We continued and strengthened our relationship with our industry members this year and held our IIDA 17th Annual Industry Roundtable, where designers and manufacturers openly brainstormed issues affecting the industry and practice of interior design. This year's topic, People, Place, and Work. This was an invigorating discussion that examines the importance of place, culture, and community in the global workplace, how these factors are essential to the design process, shifting hiring strategies in the workplace, and emerging issues for human resources professionals. The executive summary of this great event is available on our website. It's a dynamic event that each year and one that underlines the value that IIDA brings to its members and to the industry. The passion for design leadership resonates throughout IIDA. I've been invited to many chapter events in this past year and had the opportunity to connect with chapter leaders at our Chapter Leaders Conference. And it's so gratifying and inspiring to see the spirit and collaboration, innovation, and consistently forward thinking about the future of the profession. I am continually amazed at what the chapters accomplish and what they do for each and every member of IIDA, so thank you. I couldn't be more proud to have had the opportunity to work with each of you this year. As we look forward to the next 20 years and beyond, it's easy to imagine that a lot will change in both design and the manner in which IIDA elevates and celebrates it. But certain variables will remain constant. IIDA will, as always, remain relevant to our members and eager to receive feedback on how we can best support their professional ambitions. And IIDA will always remain positioned to support the profession at that intersection of passion and strategy, where designers create exceptional environments that encompass every aspect of the human experience. My mission this year was to see that all IIDA members find value in being a member. And with the incredible efforts, vision, and passion of our chapter leaders, the board of directors, and the amazing IIDA headquarters staff, IIDA is making that happen. So before I close, I want to say a special thank you to some very special people. First, I want to thank my partner, Tom Trajkowski, and the Silverman Trajkowski Associates team for all of their support this year, which allowed me to devote all the time and travel I needed to work with IIDA this year. And a very, very special thank you to my husband, David Silverman, for your constant support, interest, guidance, and inspiration, always. Thank you to the IIDA staff. Behind the scenes here, there is an amazing group of talented and passionate people running IIDA, and we truly appreciate all that you do. Thank you to the IIDA International Board. It has been an honor working with each of you. You all have been forward-thinking, dedicated, and passionate, and I'm so glad that we have become colleagues and friends. And this might be where I cry. And a very special thank you to Cheryl Durst for your inspiration, your passion, your leadership, and your friendship. Finally, I'd like to thank all of you, our members and our community, for all that you do for IIDA and for the profession of interior design. It was a true honor to hold the position of president of IIDA, and I thank you so very much for the opportunity to work with all of you this year.
We have a side bet about which one of us is going to cry first.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Each year, we have the honor and privilege to publicly thank and acknowledge various members and friends of IIDA, as well as luminaries in the field of design for their achievements in various segments of our profession. This year's honorees are a premier group whose accolades are quite well deserved. Recipients, when your name is announced, please come to the podium to accept your award. Our first award this afternoon is the IIDA Titan Award, which recognizes outstanding service and contributions to the interior design profession by a design-related individual, company, or organization. This year's award is presented to Michael Vanderbijl, Principal of Vanderbijl Design. So you stand here and I talk about you just a little bit.
Okay.
It's better to just like put you in front of people, and that way we're not talking about you, behind your back.
Okay.
Michael Vanderbijl continues to forge a distinguished career as a multidisciplinary designer whose body of work encompasses graphic design, furniture design, product design, showrooms, and retail spaces. His expressed goal through the years has been to merge, wherever possible, forms of design that traditionally exist separately to create new, distinctively fused works of art. Michael's firm imprint on the design world began with his establishment of Vanderbijl Design in 1973. His vision and hard work positioned him as one of the designers who ushered in the San Francisco Bay Area's prominence as a center of the postmodern movement in graphic design during the 1980s. Over time, Vanderbijl Design has become a truly multidisciplinary studio encompassing award-winning expertise in identity, print, digital, interiors, showrooms, retail spaces, signage, textiles, fashion apparel, packaging, furniture, and product design.
What can I say?
What can you say? Everything except tennis shoes.
I've done those.
Oh, well, and tennis shoes. The long list of prestigious clients that have engaged his services through the years includes American One, Baker Furniture, Bernhardt Furniture, the Blackstone Group, Boyd Lighting, Esprit, HBF, IBM, Luna Textiles, McGuire Furniture, Robert Talbot, Technion, and the Walt Disney Company. In addition to his work through Vanderbijl Design, Michael has been a design leader in the academic world, having taught and held the position of Dean of Design at the California College of the Arts for more than 30 years, as well as serving as visiting instructor at Cranbrook Academy of Art, Art Center of Design, School of the Art Institute of Chicago, and the universities of Cincinnati, Kansas, and Washington. He has received the Joyce C. Hall Distinguished Chair at the Kansas City Art Institute and has been recognized as Buckman Professor in Design Education at the University of Minnesota. Go Gophers. That was for you. Michael's work can be found in the permanent collections of the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art, the Denver Art Museum, the Cooper Hewitt National Design Museum, and the Library of Congress. In 2012, Michael was named to the Interior Design Hall of Fame. Please join me in congratulating Michael Vanderbijl, IIDA, our 2014 Titan Award winner.
So I can, okay. Well, if my mother were only alive to know what I do for a living, that would have been a good introduction. This is amazing. I think I've gotten more crap about being a Titan from my clients with this award, so it's good for laughs for a lot of people. So it's good. Thank you, IIDA, Cheryl, and Dennis, who gave me the call to let me know. This is a really great honor. The IIDA is very dear to me. I sort of came from another design discipline into interior architecture, and I'm always humbled and honored to be sort of accepted by you in such a way, instead of saying, what's that graphic designer doing my space that I should be doing? I usually, whenever I've gotten to a point where I've given a talk or a speech, I always do one thing. I thank my high school counselor, Mrs. Jonas, who in my sophomore year, when you had to sort of declare what you sort of wanted to do for a living, I said I wanted to be an architect, and she smiled and laughed and said, "Oh, Michael, you're not smart enough to be an architect." So forever, I have always started every speech thanking her for the sort of trust and faith she put in me to succeed in life. God bless the California education system. And so I started my design firm in '73 doing mostly graphic designs, but we did a lot of environmental graphics and signage and exhibit work, and it seemed to be such a nice connection. Massimo Vignelli was one of my mentors who just passed away last week. The firm became a multidisciplinary firm because of that interest in architecture and that interest in sort of doing things beyond just the flat printed page. I always felt that design had no limits, that it could solve a myriad of problems for clients and our culture. Over the years, I've worked with a wide range of types of clients, fashion, real estate. I mean, your list sort of explained it, but technology, wine and food, which is the best one because you get drunk while you're working. In fact, David Feldberg's here. We do that quite often. But what's great is my clients have always allowed me to cross boundaries, knowingly or unknowingly. When they hadn't had enough money to hire an architect, I said, I'll do it. When I refused, I would be on the product review committees, and I would sort of ding all the designs that have been produced. I remember Chris Plasman from HBF saying, well, God damn it, why don't you design something? I said, okay, I'll design something. So those boundaries, I've been very fortunate to have been given permission to sort of cross, but nowhere more than in the contract and residential furniture industry. I have had the most amazing list of clients to work with, and they end up being long-term friends. And, we don't go out and play golf because that would be really shitty, because I'm really terrible at golf. But we've become business friends and business partners. Clients like Technion, Janus at Sea, HBF, Beaulieu, Van Pearson and Company, Bernhardt, Baker, Kielhauer, McGuire, Hendredine Barber-Berry, A. Rudin, Bentley, and my most favorite client, and I can say that, which is Luna Textiles. Excuse me. Whew. They all allowed me to design for the best audience, designers. You guys are the easiest people to please. And I mean that in the most positive way. The clients may not have understood what I was doing, but you always did. And for that, I thank you. I've always encouraged my clients to respect the design community. My clients, how they communicate and the products they bring to the market are very important, and that they do them with you in mind always. And the one thing about us is that what we do, it is our art. My brother is a meat consultant. He works for a natural beef company, and he told me, Michael, you work because you love it. I work because I have to. And I think that's true with all designers. And I think once the clients sort of understand that, this is our art, it's our passion, then they grow to respect you a little bit more and understand that it means a lot to you. It allows us as designers to have an impact on people's quality of life every day. And I think we truly do, and that was mentioned earlier. So I'd like to thank that I couldn't do this without my clients, my students who taught me to be a better designer, my staff, my daughter, and my wife. Yeah. Thank you. We should do that.
Congratulations again, Michael. The IIDA Star Award was created in 1995 to publicly and professionally recognize and celebrate the contributions that have significantly impacted the interior design industry by either an organization or an individual. This year, we are pleased to honor George Yabu and Glenn Puschelberg of the firm Yabu Puschelberg. George and Glenn, please join us on stage. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I have things to say.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Founded in 1980 by Glenn Puschelberg and George Yabu, Yabu Puschelberg maintains a rigorous focus on design and project management, specializing in interior, furniture, and product design for the hospitality and retail industries. With their studios in Toronto and New York, George and Glenn have developed and realized their vision through distinctive projects around the world, including Bergdorf Goodman, New York, the Four Seasons Hotels, Toronto and Tokyo, the W Hotel in Times Square, Louis Vuitton, Hong Kong, and many more. The firm has received numerous high industry honors, such as such as Hospitality Design Magazine's Platinum Circle Award, the James Beard Foundation Award for Excellence in Restaurant Design, and recently, Best of Competition honors for the firm's design of the W Guangzhou in Guangzhou, China, in the 2013 IIDA Best of Asia Pacific competition. Interior Design Magazine has named Yabu Puschelberg to its Interior Design Hall of Fame, and the two principals have been honored as Contract Magazine's Designers of the Year. In December of 2013, Yabu and Puschelberg were awarded the Order of Canada, their country's highest honor, for their contributions to international design excellence. Please join me in congratulating George Yabu and Glenn Puschelberg.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, it's easy for Cindy because she does this professionally. We draw professionally.
It's easy to start with by thanking everybody.
Yeah. First of all, we
That would be a good start. So, Cheryl,
take a deep breath.
you.
Felice,
Felice,
we'd like to.
and your staff.
Well, we should thank the association, the International Interior Design Association. Thank you all. Yes, and Cheryl, Durst, and the staff. That's in the notes. You know, 20 years is nothing. 30 years ago.
Actually, 20 years ago, we were debating whether.
No. This is my line.
Okay. Okay. All right. We
30
always do
years.
this.
No, it's closer to 30 years ago. We debated whether we should buy this thing called a fax machine or not. Was it a toy or would it be useful? That's true. And you know, 30 years goes by in a flash, as those 20. And you know, you turn around and all of a sudden there's 120 people, mouths to feed in our studios in New York and Toronto where we started. And we're very proud because we have, our staff is, we thought about it, we kind of clear out the oldies, the 3 or 4 people that actually run the business for us today, that we're kind of very youth-oriented. Our staff is really between 30 and 35 years old in general, and they come from over 30 nationalities, which I think makes them so special for us. Do you want to help or do you want to keep going? All right. We just, they did put pictures up. Thank you.
But I guess
we kind of made a strategy of not only hiring interior designers, which they're the best designers, interior designers, but we have architects on staff.
Industrial designers.
Like Michael. We have graphic designers, industrial designers. We even have a fashion designer, too, that we had to break their
And then we're
habit.
next, we're thinking of hiring a textile designer.
Yeah. And I think it's that combination that helps us in our work.
Yeah, the collaboration.
Yeah,
It's very
we're
important.
and I don't know what you know about us, but we're designing. We're not doing too well today, but anyway, we like to design.
That's what we're trying to say is
We like to
still
design stores,
collaborate.
hotels,
We're still learning.
residences, furniture.
We're still learning.
We did a little tabletop
And
for Pamploni.
The funniest
Sitting
thing
here
is,
too.
After 20 years or 30
We've worked
years,
in 16 countries.
Glenn. So after all these years, these decades,
You're not
I think
following
that
the
the
script.
story is, I think that we didn't really change the direction of how we run the business.
It's all about
And
curiosity,
that,
right? That's in here too.
Yeah, the curiosity. The learning, because we surround ourselves with fresh talent all the time.
We got more
So
and more
keep-
nervous about this, and our friend Peter made us do this last night, the cards. Okay, keep going.
So it's interesting that we talked about all this technological change and these tools that help us, and it makes our work go faster and faster and probably more efficient. And it also gives us a reach to a broader audience. But when it comes down to it, we run this organization of 120 plus people from 2 different cities, Toronto and New York, the same way that we did from day one.
Yeah.
And
And that's what it says in here. It talks about invention and reinvention, but you don't need to go over that.
We have about a minute and a half
We have
left.
personal, it says personal. But this is the last part. There's 3 parts where we kind of miss. What, last week, so it's my
Okay.
turn now?
Yeah,
Last,
you can
last,
finish it off. Yeah.
I'll do my best. Last week, I was, we do run a hectic life, but we have a happy life. And last week, I was in Hong Kong for 3 days, doing 5 back-to-back presentations. Coming back on the 8th flight to Hong Kong this year, the 16-hour flight, and thinking, why do we continue to do what we do? Why do we put ourselves through all of this? And, the moment you go back into the studio is the moment of joy. It's those people, the fellow designers that you work with, that you mentor, that give you ideas, that you help edit their ideas, that you train, and you share similar thoughts, notions, and the love of what you do with, as Michael so eloquently said. And that is what's important to us. And I wrote this an hour, a couple hours. The most compelling reason, I wrote it on the plane this morning, I think, the relationship that we have, George and I have together, that we challenge each other, we draw inspiration from each other, and we have these interchangeable dual roles of the rationalist versus the tangential thinker, and we switch them, and that's what keeps our lives full, live, and dreaming of the future. Anyway, thank you.
That was a tough act to follow after Michael, but Michael reminded us how much we still have to learn. And I'm so glad that we're here before Miss Allen. I'm just going to turn it on, but thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you,
There's
everybody.
2,000-watt light bulb ladies here today, so let's see who wins.
I know, we're both going to be. No, you can't go.
You can't, okay.
So we're going to pause. I have to do one gratuitous award winner photograph with George and Glenn. The most fun I ever had moderating a panel discussion, and I'm not sure if anybody in the audience had as much fun as I did. I moderated a panel discussion with these two. And it was, the talk bubbles over my head because they finish each other's sentences and they anticipate questions, and I didn't really have to do much of anything. It was awesome.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Right
In the
here.
middle, in the middle.
In the middle.
There's the photographer.
Okay.
Get there. Sorry.
Sorry about that.
All right, that's all good.
Thank you. All the best in the future.
Thank you. That's been great.
We tried. Okay, that's enough.
That's enough of that.
Today, we also have the pleasure of bestowing an award that uniquely recognizes the tireless and invaluable effort of interior design educators. The Educator of the Year Award, sponsored by Milliken, celebrates excellence in leadership by an interior design educator, often considered our unsung heroes. I am pleased to announce this year's honoree, Dr. So-Yeon Yoon, Associate Professor of Design at Cornell University. Dr. Yoon was selected for her extraordinary accomplishments and commitment to interior design education. She has demonstrated her dedication to the field through her emphasis on the value of cross-disciplinary thinking and an insistence on offering her students a well-rounded understanding of conceptual design, technical expertise, and experiential awareness. Prior to her arrival in the U.S., Dr. Yoon practiced both interior design and architecture in South Korea. Dr. Yoon started her professional career as an interior designer, working for Hi-In Environmental Design, Inc., and as assistant architect for Ga-In Architects and Engineers in Busan, South Korea, before relocating to Columbia, Missouri, where she served as designer and CAD administrator with Chin & Associates, Inc. At the University of Missouri, she earned her master's degree for environmental design, after which she went back to South Korea to instruct at the University of Ulsan's School of Design in Busan for a number of years. Returning to the U.S., she taught in the Architectural Studies Department at the University of Missouri, Columbia, for the next 12 years, where she directed the Design with Digital Media program for graduate students. While teaching full-time, she earned her PhD in information technology with an emphasis on human-computer interaction from the University of Missouri. She was the recipient of the 2011 Gold Chalk Award for Teaching Excellence and a 3-time finalist for University of Missouri Award extolling excellence in teaching with technology. Dr. Yoon's research strategy maintains a focus on effective design and design communication, employing emerging technology to best understand the human response to the physical built environment as well as the virtual built environment. She has authored and co-authored several books on topics including the usability of virtual reality technology and the use of color in healthcare environments, and has had more than 50 articles published in design and human-computer interaction journals. The passion with which she pursues her goals, sharing her knowledge and experience with her students and everyone around her, make us exceptionally proud to recognize her as the 2014 Educator of the Year. As some of you know, this award comes with a very special prize in addition to the admiration of one's peers and the obvious prestige of the award. And I'd like to invite Barbara Haxma to the stage. Unfortunately, Dr. Yoon is not able to be here tonight. She is hopefully watching us virtually live stream, but she had travel delays and unfortunately can't be here, so Barbara Haxma will accept on her behalf.
Thank you very much, Felice. On behalf of Milliken, we are so proud to sponsor the Educator of the Year Award, and I personally love it. It's just, I think, one of my favorite things to be able to do on behalf of Milliken. And as a corporation, Milliken's approach to innovation is really driven by the purpose of doing good for the world, for creating new experiences, and building for the future. And we feel strongly that as educators and leaders in our industry, not only Dr. Yoon, but all of the nominees this year really embody those principles. So Milliken is pleased to have the honor to present a cash award of $10,000 to Dr. Yoon in recognition for her extraordinary contributions And in her absence, we accept it on her behalf. So thank you.
Oh, George and Glenn's notes up here. Thanks so much, Barbara. And Dr. Yoon, if you're watching live stream, yay, you. All right. Next, we are honored and excited to recognize our friend Cindy Allen, Interior Design Magazine Editor-in-Chief, for her contributions to the design industry, and confer upon her honorary IIDA membership. Cindy? Girl, I don't know if we've ever shared a podium before.
It could work.
It could work, all right. All right, so I'm going to talk about you a little bit. Since taking over as editor-in-chief of Interior Design Magazine, Cindy has brought a limitless passion for design to the magazine as well as to the industry. Her total commitment to interior design, and that's the profession as well as the magazine, and its advocacy is demonstrated in every aspect of her professional life. Cindy consistently serves as a design leader, elevating design and the profession in a manner that is consistent with IIDA's values. And for that reason, the IIDA International Board unanimously decided to confer honorary membership on her, and we're personally very pleased to welcome her as an honorary member of IIDA. So as Cindy says, so I got more. Oh, okay. Stay there. Cindy was named editor-in-chief of Interior Design Magazine in 2001. Since then, she has steadily steered the publication to ever-increasing importance in the industry, using her special vantage point and her connections to position it as a champion for design and its interests, and for celebrating, most especially for celebrating, established names in design as well as rising talent. Cindy has been the recipient of many industry awards and honors, including an honorary doctorate from the New York School of Interior Design in 2010, and the 2010 Circle of Excellence Award from IFDA, and the 2009 Alpha Award by Alpha Workshops, a cause that's near and dear to her heart, I know. She's also served as a juror for the Cooper Hewitt National Design Awards and the Gensler Design Excellence Awards, and is currently a board member of the Alpha Workshops, and is chair of the National Board of DIFA. With no small measure of gratitude for her dedication to the profession, we acknowledge Cindy as an honorary member and look forward to her continual support of our industry and the profession. Cindy.
Hi, guys. Hi, everybody. You know what a lot of people don't know, and since we're together, we can talk about this, is that my first issue was a September issue, which was all about New York, and I just became editor, and we were sending the issue to press, and 9/11 happened. And the cover was this Mark Morris dance studio. It had two papier-mâché heads on a desk, and it said Greater New York. Yeah, I know. So I realized then that my job was very significant and that I was meant to take care of the industry. So that was personally very important for me. First of all, the first time I ever gave out anything IIDA-like was I was the marketing director, and it was like 17 years ago, and it was the Cool Ball, and I was asked to give the final event award of the night. So I have to say, all these years later, being editor, I'm fortunate enough to be able to give out a lot of awards. And I have to say, I like giving them out a little bit better than receiving them. But I'm not going to lie, it's not so bad on this side either. Thanks, George. Oh, thanks, Glenn. Thanks, Glenn. The joy of my life, really, my professional life, has been to be of service to all of you. And People think that being the editor-in-chief is like very fabulous and all of those things. And, it kind of is. But it really is a service job. And I take the responsibility to take care of you, to honor you, encourage you, lift you up, show you off. And I take it very seriously. And for me, it's about having these long-lasting and meaningful relationships with the likes of Michael Vanderbijl and George and Glenn. And I know Joan became an honorary member fellow or something today. These are very, very special, special people. If I could meddle, because I'm kind of a professional meddler, they found their voice. Each one of them in a very tricky industry found their voice and was able to take that voice and make it something unique and totally them in design. And that's what I always like to honor. So I would encourage all of you, wherever you are in whatever firm, to try to find that voice. It matters. Your voice really, really matters. And then when you do, and you become famous, and you make a lot of money like them, then be of service to others, because at the end of the day, that's what really matters. And you have no idea how generous George and Glenn are, I have to say. You have this charter that's very nice. I was looking at it, Cheryl. It says, IID members are committed to do more, to know more, expect more, grow more, and to give more. My group, they always give more. They are always learning more. So to the interior design group there, Mark, and everybody who's there, I just want to thank all of you for always doing more, because we're doing it for you and for design. And also, our names are very important, right? Cindy Allen, my name is very important. My husband, who is the love of my life, Marino Zulich, Alan's my first marriage. It was like I was really young. It was a very long story. But we were really young. No, we were really young. I married a basketball player, 6'11". We were in college together. Anyway, but then I married the husband of my life, Marino Zulich, and he's always mad at me because I won't take his name. But it's the first time in my life, because my maiden name is Verson, to have the name Allen's so easy that I never took it. So I'm sorry, lovey, honey. But he gave me the big thumbs up to put next to my name, HON period space IIDA, and I will wear that badge with honor. And I would like to be the first one to coin a new word, which is that I am very proud to be an IIDAEN, and let's see if we can get it in the dictionary. Thank you all.
At this point, I'd like to call to the stage the current chair of the College of Fellows, Vivica Bissonette, FIIDA. Good.
Good afternoon, everyone. Election to the IIDA College of Fellows is conducted annually to provide the means of honoring the outstanding contributions and accomplishments to the interior design profession, the community, and the association by an IIDA professional member. IIDA Fellowship is the most prestigious honor that can be bestowed upon an individual design professional. I'm proud today to have the honor of introducing to you the two newest members of the College of Fellows. Will Joan Blumenfeld and Felice Silverman join me at the podium? Although you recognize them all and have some familiarity with their accomplishments, we'd like to give you their formal backgrounds. Joan Blumenfeld earned her Bachelor of Arts in Philosophical Psychology from the University of Chicago and her Master's of Architecture with distinction from the Harvard University Graduate School of Design. Joan Blumenfeld has maintained a vibrant career, beginning at Swanky Hayden Connell Architects, and then accepted a position at Perkins & Will in New York as principal, followed by being named Global Interior Design Director. She has championed innovative thinking and elevated standards of design for the creation of humane, sustainable workplaces, schools, and other institutions. In addition, Joan is committed to enriching the community through mentoring talented young professionals. She serves as advisory board member for the New York School of Interior Design and was a member of the executive committee at the Harvard Graduate School of Design Alumni Council. Highlights of her distinctive career include award-winning projects for a wide-ranging base of respected clients, including Hayworth, Von Privé, L'Oreal, IBM, Kuwait University, Sotheby's, the Guggenheim Museum, New York, and many, many more. Congratulations to you, Joan. Felice Silverman, my good friend, has demonstrated an incredible commitment to design, the profession, in her more than 25 years as an interior designer. Felice served as Vice President of Professional Development prior to taking on the responsibilities as President of the New England chapter. She was elected to the International Board of Directors in 2009, serving as the Vice President of Professional Development. In 2013, she became President of IIDA, leading the association in its mission of advancing the profession of interior design. In addition to serving as President of the IIDA International Board of Directors for the 2013-2014, she serves on the IIDA Finance Committee and on the Prospective Editorial Advisory Board, and has consistently represented IIDA for many years with the design-affiliated organizations CIDQ, IDEC, and IDCC. As president and principal of Silverman Trakowski Associates in Boston, she has maintained a focus on the design of spaces for education, children, healthcare, fitness, and commercial office interiors. Congratulations, Felice. Congratulations.
And I hope everyone will be able to stay and toast Joan, Felice, Vivica, and all of our IIDA fellows and honorees immediately following this meeting upstairs on the terrace. Now, we'd like to acknowledge the outstanding work being done by our chapters. Presentation, like the technical awards, presentation of individual chapter awards were made Friday night at a CLC celebration hosted by Milliken. Acknowledgement of those awards will be published in our Neocon issue of Design Matters and also posted on the IIDA website. But very quickly, we'd like to recognize the chapters that were celebrated earlier for their achievements. There they are. So we always hold the two big awards for right now. So the big finale awards are Chapter of the Year, recognizing both our small and large chapters. The chapter I'm about to tell you about stood out consistently to the judges for overall excellence. It's my pleasure, right this very second, there will be squealing, to announce this year's Small Chapter of the Year. And if a representative who can contain themselves can come down to the podium to accept the award from Mid-America. I so had to keep a secret. Thank you. Mid-America truly impressed the judges with their dedication, passion, and strategy, which was evident in each event and initiative. According to the judges, this chapter clearly put a lot of forethought and hard work into assembling its programs for the year. Not only did this chapter initiative show great diversity and quality, but they flowed directly from a well-designed strategy that supports the overall mission of the association. And they did all of this while having fun. It made their events attractive to both members and non-members alike. Congratulations, Mid-America.
Thank you, Cheryl. According to our chapter award judges, it would be hard to hold back the praise for our large chapter of the year, because this chapter just seemed to get everything right. They hosted a uniformly excellent range of programs that clearly conveyed strategies and outcomes, including their first advocacy platform. They launched a new and effective website, drove up their social media traffic, and overall did an impeccable job integrating content and design. But best of all, they achieved all of this as a truly joint effort of the board and members. The honor of Large Chapter of the Year goes to IIDA Northern Pacific Chapter. And now I'd like to introduce the chair of the IIDA Foundation, Anne Marie Janotis.
There. Good afternoon, everyone. And this would be so much more entertaining, I think, if George and Glenn were actually presenting this information. But the IIDA Foundation is a not-for-profit 501c3 philanthropic organization whose primary mission is to advance interior design through education, research, and knowledge, and to benefit IIDA and the interior design profession. The foundation and its board of trustees work in collaboration with the International Board to support the strategic plan of the association. I want to thank the foundation's board of trustees for their ongoing dedication and efforts during this past year, and send my appreciation to the trustees whose terms have ended. Mark Herndon, IIDA. Ray Kennedy, Industry, IIDA. And Stacy Reed, IIDA. I am pleased to announce the following IIDA members who are joining the Board of Trustees. Katie Cavallo, IIDA. Cynthia Havorka, IIDA. Felice Silverman, FIIDA. And Jim Williamson, FIIDA, who will be replacing me as chair as my term is also ending. The Foundation's goal during the past year was to continue to promote our ongoing programs and to identify and fund one signature initiative, one that connects the practice of design to tangible value. The IIDA Foundation is proud to provide funding to support, together with 3M Architectural Markets Division, for a series of books titled What Clients Want. I am very happy to announce that What Clients Want, Volume 2, Hotel Design, is now available. This book is a collection of interviews and conversations between 16 clients and their designers, discussing the innovative projects featured in the book and the importance of the collaborative process and the ongoing evolution of the hospitality industry. Copies of What Clients Want, Volume 2 are available now to our members at IIDA Headquarters, Suite 567, and soon to be available on our website. Future of Design. Designing of the Future campaign was the Foundation's 11th annual campaign, and IIDA chapters and members continue to demonstrate their generous support. The following chapters met or exceeded their goals this year, and the trustees would like to thank the following chapters. Alabama, Delta Regional, Gateway, Great Plains, Mid-America, North Florida, Rocky Mountain, Southern California, and Texas, Oklahoma. In addition to the annual campaigns programs, members benefit from IIDA Foundation initiatives such as the NCIDQ Tuition Reimbursement Fund, which also provides IIDA associate members an opportunity to apply for financial reimbursement for the cost of taking and passing the NCIDQ exam. In total, 109 IIDA members from 23 chapters have been recipients of this fund. Additionally, the Sustainable Design Education Fund serves to advance the awareness and knowledge of sustainable design. 40 IIDA members have received reimbursement upon passing the LEED accreditation exam. I am pleased to announce the new partnership between Foundation and Wilsonart to support the advancement of professional development of IIDA student members. The newly established Wilsonart essay competition invites IIDA student members who participate in the IIDA Student Mentoring Week to submit an essay describing their day-long experience of being mentored at an interior design firm and how their mentors demonstrated leadership, innovation, and inspiration to enhance their education. The winner of the 2014 competition and recipient of a cash award provided by Wilsonart is Holly Vogel from the New England chapter, studying at the New England School of Art and Design at Suffolk University. You can read her essay on the Foundation's website. To date, IIDA members have supported their foundation with individual contributions in excess of $300,000. With the continued generosity and support of IIDA members, the IIDA Foundation will continue to provide tangible and original benefits to its members. The trustees are grateful to everyone for their generous participation, and we hope everyone visits the Foundation's website for complete details and information. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anne Marie. And I'd also like to take a moment to thank the 3M executives who are here with us today for your support and partnership of what clients want. Thank you very much. And I would now like to thank the 2013-2014 Board of Directors. When I say your name, please stand. Julio Braga, Vivica Bissonette, Scott Herlinger, Anne-Marie Genotis, Stacy Reed, Enrique Reyes, Suzanne Molina, Rob Moylan, and Jim Williamson. Thank you for your extraordinary service to the board and to the association. And now I would like to introduce the newly inducted vice presidents for the 2014-2015 Board of Directors that were inducted earlier today. Please rise as I call your name. Vivica Bissonette, FIIDA. Marlene Liriano, IIDA. Suzanne Molina, IIDA. Enrique Reyes, Industry, IIDA. Jim Williamson, FIIDA. And Cheryl Durst, Honorary, FIIDA. Please be recognized by your peers. Julio and Scott, will you please join me on stage for the President and President-elect oath? They look nervous what I'm going to say to them. Stand on the red dot. Yeah, good. Okay. Scott Herlinger, as President-elect, you shall spend the year in preparation to assume the highest office of the association. You shall serve as the alternate presiding officer of the association. You will support the President in all of your actions and act as a special advisor on projects, programs, and all strategic and budgetary matters affecting the association. You'll be highly visible, and your actions will greatly impact the image and credibility of the association. Do you accept these responsibilities? Most definitely. All right. And Julio Braga, In electing you president, the association has conferred upon you great responsibility. You shall see that the bylaws of the association are enforced. You'll preside at all meetings of the board of directors, and you shall see that all orders and resolutions of the board are carried out. As the most visible representative of the association within the industry, you shall keep the purposes and mandate of IIDA foremost. Do you accept these responsibilities? Now, I am delighted and honored to present IIDA's new president, Julio Braga, to deliver his presidential remarks.
That's great. That's great. Wow. Thank you, Felice, for your kind introduction and for all your great work this past year. My sincere thanks go also to the staff, board, and members of IIDA for entrusting me to represent you as president of the International Board. I'm honored and humbled by your trust and committed to performing the duties of president to the best of my ability. In this, its milestone 20th year, IIDA is more focused than ever on its mission to be the preeminent association for the commercial interior design profession. As president of the International Board, I prepare to do everything I can to advance that mission. I plan to work hand in hand with IIDA staff, board members, chapter leaders, and business partners to maintain our strong leadership position here in the United States and to extend our reach further into global markets. My commitment to the IIDA mission is most likely rooted in my own personal journey. You will not be surprised to know that I was not born in the United States. I grew up in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and I'm the oldest of 3 siblings. With an architect mother and an engineer father, design was always a topic of interest and conversation in our family. However, despite my early introduction to design, I was not drawn to the profession in my early years. My only passion in those days was soccer, or as the rest of the world calls it, football. When I realized my skills in the field were not going to take me to the World Cup, I decided to find a more realistic professional path. In the end, I followed in my parents' footsteps. I studied architecture at the University of Buenos Aires for 6 years. In 1989, I traveled to New York City to see the Rolling Stones perform at Shea Stadium. That trip brought me more than just a good time. It also brought me a job offer as junior designer at the retail design firm Walker Group C&I. 3 important things happened to me during my years at Walker Group. I fell in love with New York City. I fell madly in love with my wife, Patricia, who's here with me today. And I grew to love international project work that took me to places like Hong Kong, Istanbul, Delhi, and Sao Paulo. At Walker Group, my interest in the global marketplace began. For the past 10 years, I've been design principal in the New York office of IA Interior Architects. IA is also celebrating a big anniversary this year. 30 years ago, David Morning, one of the visionaries of our industry and an IIDA fellow, founded IA and successfully steered it through 3 decades of industry change. I'm pleased to say that David Morning and David Burke, IA's executive director, are here with us today. Both Davids strongly endorse my IIDA work, and I would like to thank them for their support. So here I am, 25 years later, engaged in one of the most interesting and influential professions in the world. Interesting because design offers endless opportunities to exercise imagination. Influential because design, particularly commercial design, can have a great positive impact on the life experience of people, where they work, where they heal, when they travel and seek diversion. At its core, design is a social responsibility, one that IIDA and each of its members takes very seriously. A deeply held commitment to social responsibility is why IIDA strongly advocates for legal recognition of the interior design profession through licensing, registration, and certification. Interior design legislation ensures a code of professional standards that protect the health, safety, and well-being of people. A strong belief in our common purpose is the operating principle behind IIDA's rich and continually developing website. IIDA.org is not just a gateway to membership, it's an invaluable forum for design professionals from around the world to discuss best practices, share and gather information, and most importantly, connect. And connections don't end there. Currently, IIDA has thousands of followers on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest, most notably reaching 145,000 plus followers on Facebook and over 24,000 on Twitter. To encourage and reward design excellence, IIDA presents more than a dozen global design competitions each year. At latest count, we have received nearly 8,000 entries and awarded more than 500 projects in 41 countries. Over the years, our chapters have proven to be the lifeblood of IIDA. Your energy and excellence are an ongoing source of pride and inspiration. IIDA and its chapters have developed a truly impressive range of forums for knowledge building and sharing. In fact, it was at the New York chapter's highly regarded Leaders' Breakfast that I first began to see the breadth and vitality of IIDA, and when I was inspired to contribute what I could to the organization's continuous growth. For students and young designers, IIDA and its chapters have developed many important programs and activities. Student Mentoring Week and Career Bootcamp are just two of these programs that connect students with design professionals in a valuable exchange. In looking back, we can see clearly that IIDA, Cheryl, Dennis, staff members, board members, and chapters have a lot to be proud of. Much has been accomplished in 20 years, and much has been planned for the coming years. One of my particular interests is in the development of programs to bring more clients into the IIDA fold, to increase our understanding of their business and direction, and to increase their understanding of the multiple ways interior design can add value to their businesses. IIDA has a clear vision for its future as a professional association, advocate, and global forum. There is still much work to be done to achieve that vision. But at 13,000 plus members, I'm certain we have the manpower, talent, and commitment to succeed. I look forward to working with you in that effort. Thank you all very much.
All right. How are you doing?
You've been great. Stay here.
Right?
Yeah, no.
Stay here.
You stay there.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Yep. You're president now.
Come on.
Yeah, you go nowhere. Oh, I'm never going to get tired of hearing Julio say, Cheryl. It's just awesome. But the script says, thank you, Julio, for sharing your professional vision. Plus, I kind of think it's cool. Argentinian president of IIDA, Argentinian Pope.
Ja.
You've been design blessed. Before concluding, we'd like to present one final award this afternoon in honor of our 20th anniversary. It's our first ever Legacy Award, and we'd like to present it to John Rouse, publisher of Contract Magazine. John? John Rouse is an industry veteran who's indefatigable. Did you catch that? I said the word, indefatigable. Indefatigable? There you go. Support of the profession of commercial interior design is without peer. Most of us know him as the publisher of Contract Magazine, where he has total responsibility for the day-to-day business operations. He began his magazine career in sales with interiors, and in 1994, odd coincidence of years, in 1994 became the publisher. Behind the scenes of managing operations and making sure many of you in this room had optimally placed advertising, in the mid-90s, John led a group of manufacturers, and a lot of people don't know this, and it's one of the reasons we are quite appreciative to him. He led a group of manufacturers to support, which means fund, the DCPD, which was the Design Coalition for Professional Development. And that was the forerunner and early precursor to what would eventually become the IDCEC, the Interior Design Continuing Education Council. John is also an active board member of DIFA Chicago. Please join me in thanking John for his tremendous support of this profession and congratulating him. John?
Thank you. First of all, Cheryl, thanks so much for letting me follow all these wonderful people, getting a drier mouth by the minute, and following, finally, a swarthy Argentinian. And you are swarthy, my friend. Good afternoon, and thanks to Cheryl Durst, the International Interior Designs Association's Board of Directors, and all of you for bestowing honorary membership in IIDA and for your first Legacy Award. Also, congratulations to IIDA for 20 years of setting new standards for design excellence. But I am only here because of my belief in all of you. This is a glorious dream, and it's still going on. I'm thrilled, amazed, and flabbergasted. I haven't been this high since '69. And I didn't go to the cannabis thing either. I stayed away. I hit a few bars, but not the cannabis thing. I've also gotten to wherever I am because of the belief of others. People like my friend and mentor, Dennis Cahill, who hired me 28 years ago. An extraordinary group of editors, including the former Interiors Magazine group of Beverly Russell, Paula Rice-Jackson, M.J. Madigan, and Julie Lasky. And of course, the editors of Contract Magazine. My friend, and now my executive friend, Jennifer Bush, and our current editor-in-chief, John Zarnecki, and his team of Marie Bernard and Cody Calamayo. Under John's leadership, they have done an extraordinary job of reimagining contract in just 3 short years, along with a brilliant redesign by Chicago talent Rick Valicenti and his firm Thirst. All of you will have the great benefit of John's passion and intellect for years to come. Thank you, John. I would also like to thank the Emerald Expositions management team of Doug Hope and Joe Randall for their guidance and support, to the sales team of Ellen Cook, Marie Kowalczyk, Vito Salvatore, and Larry Shore. You make my job fun and so much easier every day of the year. I've also been extremely fortunate to meet and then count design professionals such as Wing Chow, Lauren Rote, Ken Wilson, Carl Magnuson, Karen Daroff, and Neil Frankel as friends, along with a few illustrious Chicago notables, including Mitchell Cohen and Jim Ford. Over the past 30 or so years, design has made the quantum leap forward, and it's changed the way we work, live, value the planet, and the way we treat others. All of you here have changed society. Sustainability and social responsibility became movements in large part because of the design industry. You consistently create serious new products called interiors that include specifications, plans, parameters, costs, activities, and processes that must accommodate, and dare I say please, a multicultural, multinational, technology-advanced or intimidated, multi-generational client base while simultaneously accomplishing the underappreciated benefit of a happier, healthier, and more productive workspace. You guys, along with Pharrell, make people happy. How good is that? And you can do more. You have to. You have the gene. There are products, graphics, events, and more to design, and one of the industry's multidisciplinary pioneers and mentors was honored earlier and is sitting right here, Michael Vanderbilt. So bother him or solicit his advice. All of this is daunting, but there are just three things you need: pride, passion, and faith. Pride in knowing what you do makes people happier, healthier, creates jobs, and helps save our planet. Passion, because it's just not fun for you or others if you don't adore your job every day. And faith, the ability to believe in something you may not know the result of, but must be confident that its value exceeded the client's objectives. Brilliant people, such as the eloquent and graceful Maya Angelou and the astonishing Massimo Vignelli, whom we lost recently, had no fear of edges. Brilliant people have no fear of edges. You must find where the edge is, as your idealism will become others' reality. As Maya Angelou said, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. You guys do that. Please wake up every day happy. You all deserve it because of what you do. Thank you so much.
That's good. Look, you got to stand. Don't curtsy.
Don't curtsy.
Don't ever curtsy. It was awesome. John, thank you, and I love that you name-checked Maya Angelou and Pharrell. But don't ever curtsy on stage again. All right, this is it, guys. Julio Braga is going to conduct his very first order of business as the new president of IIDA. He's going to announce our 2015 annual meeting. Okay, stay right there.
I am pleased to announce the 2015 IIDA annual meeting scheduled for Sunday, June 14, 2015. I wish you all success in the coming year in your personal and professional endeavors. Now, won't you please join me and IIDA in celebrating today's honorees at our VIP reception, which begins right now. Thank you.
All right.
Good job. That was good.
All good? All good. Thank you. You guys feel better now?